Okay, and welcome to our first lesson in coding, and we're going to be using Apple software Xcode. So we're going to start off with a bit of an introduction, and we'll be using elements of that throughout this course. So to open up, click on the magnifying glass, type in Xcode, hit return, and it will start to load up Xcode. You'll have your options down the left hand side. We're going to create a new project. This will come up each time. You'll start off at the moment, we're going to use a single view application, and that's the main one we'll be working with. Click next. Give it a name, whatever you want to call it. So we'll do this one storyboard. Next. Back with that. Make sure that you've clicked on Swift, and we're developing for the iPhone. So just check both of those two are highlighted before you move on. Next, we're just going to save it on the desktop, and we will create. And this becomes your main home screen. We won't worry about any of that at the moment. Later, if you decide to develop and produce it, you can add those in later, but we won't worry at this point. On the left hand side is kind of our index, and here we've got in the middle our main working window. The thing we're going to be using at the moment is the storyboard. The storyboard's a really handy feature that can allow you to move around and manipulate slides, as it were, in our app. You've got several elements to this. We're going to click this little button here, which will just hide our documentation window, which you can see you can either hide or show, but hiding it just allows it to be a little bit bigger. If you right click anywhere on the storyboard that isn't a view controller, you can change your zoom. We're going to drop it down to 50% so you get a little bit more of an idea of what's happening. This little arrow means this is the screen that the person will see when your app launches first. Over here is our attributes, so whenever you click on something, it'll tell you what you've clicked on, and it'll tell you the attributes. You can adjust various features of that, and we'll spend a lot more time looking at this. But it'll tell you what it is. In this case, it's a view controller. We've got a little play button up here which allows us to run it, and this part here allows us to choose what type of device we want to simulate it on. So at the moment it's on the 6 Plus. If I were to run it, it builds, and we're just going to be running a straightforward white screen, so we should get our app looking a little bit like a white screen, and there it is. We have a few bits and pieces that we can do. At the moment it's scaled 100%. That's the iPhone 6 Plus full size. You'll also see that you can simulate various things like rotating the iPhone to the left, etc., or going to your home, which shows a home function. And you can of course scroll around your simulator. This is where we'll simulate all the parts of our app. When you're finished with it, you can just quit out, and you can try it on a different size. So we might try it on the 5 and run it, and that will just show you how your app looks on various iPhones. And that's really important when you're testing out the layout of your app when you're getting ready to launch it. And this is the iPhone 5, and that's on full size. So you can see the big difference between the 5 and the 6 Plus. We'll quit that simulator, and we'll go into a lot more detail on how we use this a little bit later on.